following is presented by Motion Sports Network.
Hey, everybody. Man, I really hope the mic is working. Hey, Drew.
Yep, I can hear you.
Wow, man, I got my headphones way up. So, hey, sorry that everybody got that extra few seconds there of the beats. That's just a badass tune that we open with. But I had to run and grab myself a hat because I am definitely way too bald.
I am
to not be wearing a hat
with you.
during broadcast, man. Drewbie-Doobie-Doo, how are you, buddy?
Doing well. How's everything with you? Happy Thursday, but for the other team.
No, yeah. That's not quite working out the way it used to for us.
Oh,
yeah, so happy start to allergy season, buddy.
Yes,
does allergy season totally kick your tail too?
It's awful. It's absolutely sinus infections.
It's only just begun, but it's actually. This is Drew's jump here. He hit me up earlier this week and said, "Hey man, Vegas just released the over/unders for the NFL teams for their wins for the season. You want to jump on and we'll do some talking about it." I'm like, well, sure, why not? Your brother is still he's still got Motion Sports Mobile Command way down south. So I kind of thought of it like this: we can either talk about these NFL over-unders, or we can talk trash about your brother all night long. I mean, that'd probably be a whole lot more fun.
I think we can interact as we go along with both.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll definitely sprinkle some of that in there. So to everybody who's joining us here, so this is not going to be about fishing. I'm sorry. It's like half of the audience is heck yeah fishing, and the other half is like, oh crap, more fishing show. But no, this is not fishing. Drew, are you any good at fishing?
I dabble a bit. I went down with Greg down there to Florida for about a week, and we did some fishing down in Fallsmere, which was fantastic. So I dabble a bit. I spend more on lures than I do actually fish, and
I call it drowning worms or feeding the fish. One of those. But no, I'm trying to set up something to go out with Greg sometime this summer, and get some pointers from him, because like I said, I pretty well suck at fishing. I just do it because I enjoy doing it, really.
It's an art.
Yes, it really is. But even not being any good at it, I have fun. It's so like calming and relaxing and something like that. And then when I do get lucky and catch a fish, that's pretty awesome too. So all right. So if you're
we're ready to go through these.
If you're tuning in for the fishing talk, I'm sure Greg's got some of that planned here for this weekend, and he's supposed to wander his way back north this weekend. So we'll hopefully do a live episode of the show come Monday night. So it's been a couple of weeks. We've missed out on a couple of things, but we'll get to that. And I'm sure he's gonna want to talk Masters, and so look. if you see a live feed of Motion Sports, the show for Monday night, I guarantee that Greg's going to want to talk golf, but you should be tuning in to watch me and listen to me eviscerate golf. That's all I'm going to give you. Tune in Monday. So it'll either and there's also a pretty good chance that Greg could fire me like mid-show. But if he was going to fire me, he'd have to change all the passwords. I've got all the passwords
too. Then he'd have to bring the command center up here, and he doesn't want to.
Right. Yeah. So
it doesn't work.
Right, no.
He's kind of stuck down there for a while. So.
All right, cool, man. All right, so all right. Enough of little palaver. Let's I caught it from Vegas insiders who I think brought it from DraftKings, and I've got a graphic here that I'll pop up in just a couple of seconds. But so Vegas released their over under for team wins. As you looked over it, what caught your eye right from the jump? Not getting into too much detail, which we'll get here in a second. Well, anything in particular?
I mean, the standards, I mean, the no doubters were obviously at the top of the list with Buffalo and Tampa Bay, horrible divisions. And it has all the means to have an excellent season as to why they're leading the odds as far as over-unders. Tampa, what kind of competition? That's automatically 6 wins in that South NFC. And the AFC East, that's almost another 6 wins for Buffalo. So it's no surprise that they're leading these odds, so to speak. But that AFC West, that looks pretty tight, and we'll get to that here in a minute. That might
all right. Well, this is the something that I put together. I'm going to pop it onto screen here, and I'm going to hit this button and change my screen here. So here we are over on the side, me and Drew. So I don't think there's a lot of scroll. You know what? Let me fix one thing here. Drew, just go ahead and start blathering away there. I'm going to make this to where everybody can see it just a slight bit more.
Sure.
How about that?
As we, one of the greatest games I've ever seen last year between Buffalo and Kansas City. Again, they're high favorites, no surprise. And there's not really other surprises other than, those top 2 teams that we talked about, Buffalo and Tampa Bay. I guess we can start with the AFC East at the top.
Well, before we jump into that, I don't want to so I broke it down by divisions, and I've only put two little columns in there, and it's the total wins that Vegas is predicting and the change versus their actual wins from last year. So when you're looking at this, that's what you're going to see. Yellow and red means that they went down. Red went down the highest, and green went up the most. And so if you just take and look at the AFC there as a whole, the AFC definitely has gotten tougher. Your best quarterbacks, I'm saying, are all playing in the AFC. So a lot of the people who Vegas is predicting to win less, more of those show up there in the AFC. And so let's like you said, let's start with the AFC East. And I'll tell you what. All right, I'm just gonna jot down our picks as we go along.
Sure.
And if I was any good at using this stuff, you'd be able to see me adding it there live. I'd have some cool spreadsheet going on. But I don't. I do 2 things well in this world, and spreadsheets is not one of those.
Yeah, we don't get those Batman captions that says "pow" and "bang."
Right. Yes. No. I don't. If you want a pow, just say it. Okay.
I don't have a bazinga in my arsenal, so
no. I'm sure there's a way to hook up a soundboard to get boings and things like that. But we're still Motion Sports is still an infant in the in a sports talk world. But
we are growing. We're growing at a very good pace.
We're coming. Whoever is directly above us, who has more follow, whatever sports station has more followers than us, whoever's right above us, we're coming for you. I
We
don't know.
are. We definitely
I
are.
don't know who would have like 513 followers, but dang it, we're our subscribers.
We're growing.
Yeah, so as I'm speaking, heck yeah, we're growing. That's great. And we're supposed to be talking. We told you what we're going to talk about, but if you're watching, if you've pulled us up in a Facebook feed or something like that, and head over there, check out Motion Sports Network on YouTube. More and more stuff is happening, and the KFL is set to kick off here just real soon. So the amount of content that's going to be coming your way is only going to expand and explode in the next couple of months. So, all right, I'm super good at going off topic, Drew. So, all right,
Okay.
let's go there with the AFC East.
Right. As far as picks, I kind of like it the way you have it set up. Buffalo won. I think Miami can actually give them a run for their money. They've spent a lot of money on the offseason to get that team better, but the downside to Miami is Tua. He's just not it.
In coaching, they're going to be coming in with a first-year coach. And so Vegas has them pegged at sitting at the same 9 wins.
That's a good number for them.
The NFL schedule hasn't been released yet, and it's going to that's going to be interesting. I think you'll see these numbers change once you see the schedule come out. So I will tell you, at that 11.5 for the Bills, I'd go over.
Like 13 for them.
13. They could sniff 14. That could definitely be your best team in the NFL and best team in the AFC. There of course. Miami. How do you
They're gonna have a third
9? Like you can't go over. I'm just gonna call that a push.
They're going to have a third place schedule for. So I mean, they might rattle off some teams. They went on a streak last year, but they beat up on a lot of bad teams.
Yeah, they did. But I think I think, and I said this as last season ended for Miami. I think a lot of that was following their coach, and I think that Miami made a huge mistake in letting Brian Flores go. Not to mention all the other huge mistakes with the Brian Flores situation. So I don't really see them going over 9 and not really under 9 much there.
They might squeak out 10, but I would doubt it. I like that 9 number.
All right, so I'm going to give you that too. So what's your call on Buffalo? You're going over there as well?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I would say about 13 wins.
Yeah. I like 13, 14. Darn good team, and going up to Buffalo to play. It's not fun playing in Buffalo in late October, November, December. So
no, and it'll probably come down to them in Kansas City again. Who's going to get the home field advantage? Now, if it swings the other way, where it's Buffalo home field, I would give them a ride all the way to the AFC Championship. So,
I would too, absolutely.
Yeah, New England.
This one I kind of thought of interesting. I like what New England did. They fell off a little bit toward the end of the season. And maybe that's what Vegas is saying here with their 1.5 wins less over their 10 from last year.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about that 8.5?
So they're going to have the second tiered teams, and that's going to be a very hard schedule for them.
I'm seeing Indianapolis and Vegas and
yeah, I mean, it's going to be, let's see.
Just looking at the teams that had finished second last season. I don't know how much they play all of those, but Mac Jones, sophomore, are they looking at a sophomore slump for him?
Usually it's the biggest jump from the rookie season to the sophomore for the quarterback. So if they can get another receiver in there, possibly actually like Breece Hill for them to be drafted out of the draft, out of Iowa State. If they get another good running back plus another receiver to help to help Jones out, I think they can actually be a good team. They already have a solid defense. That's always a given for them. At 8.5, I'd go slightly over. I like 9 wins for New England.
That sounds pretty good there for me too. I think you're gonna, you still get to play the Jets twice and Miami. At worst, they're gonna split with Miami
Yeah.
and take 2 from the Jets. So that's 3. You're a third of the way to your over right there.
Right.
Just in your division, and and they played Buffalo tough last year. If
Mhm.
they didn't take at least one from them, so I'd take the over there too.
I think that one game, that 50-mile-an-hour game, New England pretty much just ran it down their throat.
Right, I think they throw the ball like 4 times or
Yeah,
something,
like 2
some
times for
something insane. So, all right, how about Vegas giving the Jets 1.5 more wins than last year?
they've added stuff and expect them to probably either beef up that offensive line to protect Wilson, or again get a stud receiver. Um, if they get Burks out of Arkansas, Jamison Williams or something like that, that team could be very deadly.
I think I think Deadly I think Deadly's a stretch there,
It's
and
going to be on the arms of Wilson. I mean, they have a good foundation. It's all about the quarterback. What is he going to do? Can he take that leap forward? They just need playmakers on that team.
I don't see him having it. I'm going under the 5.5 for the Jets.
I'm going to take over. I'm going to say 6.
Okay. All right. All right. The funny thing is when you sit and look at this, you have to if you're going to give a team a win, you have to take a win away from somebody else. And as we move down here, like Cincinnati, or I'm sorry, Tennessee, Vegas, Dallas, the Rams, Tampa, each of those losing a game and a half over last year. There's so I don't know. Maybe it's maybe the Jets can surprise somebody, but I think the Jets, if they're going to try and do something, they're another year away.
Yeah, and again, let's see what happens during the draft. They can definitely do some stuff on the defense in the secondary that can be better. But I like for them to draft a wide receiver. I'm sure we'll do a draft show and everything.
That's the third team I've heard you say. The third time I've heard you say, just with the AFC East, if they can draft a receiver, there's just not that many of those amazing receivers that are out there.
There's going to be a lot of receivers in the draft. You're just not going to get that Jamar Chase type receiver this year. I mean, there's a lot of talent. Was it London from USC, Burks from Arkansas, Jamison Williams? So I mean, there's going to be some talent in the first round. Probably see 5 or 6 receivers go in the first round. But it's a passing league, Look, you can just tell by these salaries that all this money is going to the receivers and quarterbacks.
Right. It's going to the receivers, and the game is being changed to help the quarterbacks, to help the receivers. And I think as the stats get better for the quarterbacks, it's getting better for the receivers too. So some team, here 10 years ago, your draft, you draft a receiver, he wasn't really going to be helping your team for 2 or 3 years. Now you see a lot of rookie receivers really, really make an impact.
Right. And we got a lot of guys on their 5th-year option coming up. AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, McLaurin, those guys. And it's only going with these contracts coming up, you're only going to see the receiver market, go higher, because these guys are going to probably make $20-25 million a year.
That's very, very interesting, is with what quarterbacks are getting paid, the insane amounts they're getting paid, and then the same with receivers. When Greg and I were talking about, before the Packers traded Adams, that like 24% of their salary cap was going to just those 2 players.
Oh no, it's sad.
And I don't know how they're going to make this work salary cap wise. Yeah, I think you're going to see lots of people getting cut and restructures and things like that. So you cut a quality, let's say a darn good number 3 receiver, and then he goes and gets paid by somebody like Chicago or Detroit or something.
Look what Jacksonville did with
absolutely,
the guy out of Arizona. I can't, his name slipping my head right now, but Kirk, not Kirk, but the other one, Christian Kirk.
Okay.
So, something like, $22-23 million a year, and he's not even probably a number 3 on that team. So I don't know. These teams are doing stupid stuff this year, and it's just
It is
ruining this cap.
and I've read something too that they're really hoping that in just a couple of years when they're renegotiating TV contracts, these TV contracts are going to explode and let the salary cap, inflate there with it and help some of their spending. And I mean, that people are going to be paying more for the NFL, of
Mm.
course. So. Oh man, daggone! It's taken us 20 minutes to make it through the AFC East.
I
So
know
wow,
the most.
this could take a minute. All right, let's go to the AFC North here, and let's start down at the bottom of the AFC North. And Cleveland, Vegas isn't giving anything yet. With the Deshaun Watson thing kind of up in the air is really what I heard. Why they're not doing anything, picking anything for Cleveland. So, all right, you have a chance. Set a number for Cleveland.
And it pains me to say this. I actually like Cleveland. Being a Ravens fan, I just feel my heart bleeds for them all the time to see how bad they are operated and everything else. No matter how good of a team they are, they always seem to fall short. For Cleveland, I would put them above Pittsburgh. I would actually give them 8 wins.
Really?
Trubisky at Pittsburgh is just not the answer.
I'm going to put you. That's true. That Pittsburgh number I think is very inflated, which we'll talk about that here in a second. But I think that there's going to be some growing pains with Cleveland, and although I mean if they've still got Mayfield. I think that going to be a headache if Watson has a bad game, then you've got Mayfield looking over his shoulder, and that kind of stuff can really harm a team, and especially a fragile team like Cleveland. So if you're going to say 8, I'm going to put Cleveland at 4.
Whoa.
Yeah, I do not see any good things going on with Cleveland. I want Cleveland to be a good team. I thought they were on their way. They had some good things happening.
Now, also you got to figure in that they're going to have a last place schedule. So let's see, they're going to play the Jets. They're going to play Houston. They're going to play Denver. They'll probably lose that one. So that's almost 3 wins right there.
Okay, and then Pittsburgh, but they, I don't know which division they're going to be playing, but let's say that they've got to go and play the NFC South this season. That's not going to be good for them. I foresee more growing pains and headaches this season in Cleveland than last season.
Mm-hmm. And that's another team that could do a receiver. Landry's obviously not happy. Beckham's in Los Angeles.
You hear so much. There's so many players who are not happy in Cleveland.
Yeah.
And be not happy. Let them start 0-3 and see how many people are unhappy, and then see if they're going to make it to 8 wins.
Yeah.
So it's that's an interesting one. That's a fun one. Like I said, the Vegas isn't putting a number on us, so we got a chance. All right, so let's jump back to the top there. Cincinnati 10 with the same as they had last year. Baltimore 9.5, a win and a half more than last year. Pittsburgh. We'll catch Pittsburgh here in a second because I think they're their own story. Do you like how that sits at the top there, Cincinnati and Baltimore?
They're going to be the class of the division. I can see them both going 10 wins. Cincinnati, I believe, went 10-7.
I think so, and then they were Baltimore was
they were almost actually. You know what?
Baltimore
was last.
Baltimore 7-10 last year.
Yeah, and they were actually the last, so they're going to have the easier of the schedule.
Oh, okay,
so,
all right.
You know what? So,
I still like Baltimore. I think last year was an aberration for Baltimore
just because of the injuries.
Yeah, the injuries really hurt them, and so you give that team a last place schedule. That's definitely worth a couple of wins, 9.5. As far as the Ravens go, I'm going to go over with the Ravens. Cincinnati, I can't really see Cincinnati going
Better.
under
I
than
can't.
10, and I can't really see them going over
I like
10.
I like
So
that number even at 10, and I like the Baltimore over. I like them at 10.
yeah, so
Um,
I'm going to I'm going to give us both a push there on the Bengals, and
yep,
so we're both going over on the Ravens.
Ravens. Yep,
Mhm.
and Pittsburgh. I mean,
Yeah,
that's like the
here
anti-Cleveland debate. It's
this
what
is
are,
this is an interesting.
they have talent. I mean, if they just don't have a quarterback, and if they draft Malik Willis, who's probably not going to be ready this year.
I'm I have said this. I'm on the record. I Malik Willis. When one of the couple times I got to watch him last year,
I'm not impressed.
he Mississippi. I want to say it was Mississippi State that they were playing against, and he had a chance. He had a chance to tie it or win it with about 2 minutes to go, and he throws an interception in the end zone. And as he's kind of walking off with his head down just a little bit, one of his offensive linemen comes over, puts an arm around him, and he talks for a second, and then Willis lifts his head up, and the two jog off together. To me, what that says is that Willis is a leader,
Yep.
and he has led his teammates to where when he hangs his head, his teammates want to lift him up.
Right.
You take a player like that and put him in a situation, as much as I despise most things that come out of Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Steelers are,
Not that.
are a team that I absolutely respect, just because I think that they do so many things right.
Absolutely.
And with Malik Willis being coached by Mike Tomlin, I don't care if the guy has all of the skill, all of the talent. The Pittsburgh will get the most out of it. Roethlisberger was not that talented of a quarterback when he was drafted, and look what Pittsburgh did with him. I want Willis to go to Pittsburgh because I think that is his absolute best chance to succeed.
Mhm.
And saying that, like you said, if they take him, he's not going to be ready to play this year. Trubisky be the bridge, rebuilding. I think you'll see. There is some good talent in Pittsburgh, but why not just lay it out there and say, you know what, rebuilding year. We're probably going to win 4 or 5 games. We're probably going to pick third or fourth in the draft, and stock up on some high draft picks, and just wait till we get there and get back. Pittsburgh is definitely taking one of those 3 quarterbacks in the draft. Wouldn't don't you
I
believe?
believe so.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think Carolina is probably going to take Pickett with their pick, and I believe Malik Willis, because Washington's obviously not going to do a quarterback this year with getting
Hmm.
Carson Wentz,
Yeah.
so that'll allow Malik Willis to fall. Now, the one thing that could happen is Atlanta might pick him up. They're in desperate need of a quarterback
True.
still,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
but I can see Willis falling, and maybe you might see Pittsburgh trade up and get him.
Yeah, I haven't gone and looked at any mock drafts. So as you keep talking, I'm gonna kind of look and see what I'm pulling up the CBS Sports mock draft, and I want to see where they put the quarterbacks here. Penny. Oh well, there's Kenny. They're saying Kenny Pickett to Pittsburgh at number 6.
So
Um,
they have Pittsburgh moving up to get him. And where's Carolina drafting? I think they're in the top 5, right?
round. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I said this wrong. Gets Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh. Hold on. Kenny Pickett to Carolina.
Oh, there you go. That's what I would
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Okay,
gonna happen.
all right. Yeah, it helps if you know how to read.
Yep.
So that's a Lloyd. There's a cornerback. There's an edge rusher and a defensive lineman. And boy, this is a truly amazing show. I'm gonna just everybody watch me scroll through my phone. All right, so I found Willis. Pick 16. Projected team New Orleans. New Orleans trading up with the Eagles. Or is this, no? Maybe this is a pick that they got from that. But taking him, New Orleans taking him at 16, also not a bad spot, I think, for Willis to land.
Well, I mean, I don't like that because they're now almost committed to. Oh my God, it's been one of those days on Friday.
Yeah.
Who's a quarterback that used to play for Tampa?
Yeah.
Crab legs guy.
Oh my gosh, man! Why can't
Jameson Winston?
Winston? Dang it! I knew where he played college ball. I knew all kinds of stuff about him. I just couldn't think of his stinking name. So as I scroll on down through this mock draft, it's also got New Orleans with having the 19th pick. I guess they got some stuff in a trade with Philadelphia. Chris Olave, is that how you say his name? Wide receiver,
Olave, the receiver from
out of Ohio State. So I mean,
That
hey,
was
take
nasty.
the kid Winston and take a stud wide receiver. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
If you are going to take Winston or Willis, give him some weapons.
I actually like Olave to go to Washington.
Okay.
And pair up with McLaurin, but Jameson Williams will be there. But that would be just absolutely.
So this is showing Jameson Williams to Buffalo. Oh my, that's the rich getting richer.
Yeah, no kidding. That's
Yeah. So okay,
interesting.
all right. We were really we're really trying to talk over unders here, and but man, it's just everything is just happening so close, and we've got the draft right around the corner, the schedule release right around the corner, and then let's take a break, take a respite, enjoy your summer, and then the NFL is going to come back. But dang it, I mean it's already almost mid-April here, May, June, July, August. I mean.
We're
4 months.
through it.
In 4 months, there's going to be preseason games. So stuff is going to happen. So,
yeah, and we'll probably do a mock draft live to get an idea of where we think what's going to happen. But
yeah. So all right, so
we're left on like Pittsburgh.
What's your pick on Pittsburgh at that 7.5 number?
I'm gonna go under.
I'm gonna go on. I'm with you.
6 wins, maybe.
I'm with you on that.
6 wins, maybe.
Yeah. So all right, let's jump down AFC South.
I don't like this division at all.
This division just seems like they are going to be just beat each other up, and nobody projected Tennessee 9.5 wins. The winner of this division at 9 and 7, I would totally go. I would totally say that.
This could be the division like the NFC East was, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When Washington won it at 7 and 9.
Yep.
I can see that happening here with a team at 7 and 10 winning it. I don't like any team in this division. Indianapolis, I mean, they got Matt Ryan, but I mean, does that really help them?
I think of Matt Ryan as like the grandfather of quarterbacks. I know he's not that old, but dang it, he just seems that old to me. And I don't think that he's really going to be the piece that Indianapolis needs. Jacksonville, I like some of the additions that they made, and so does Vegas. Vegas has them moved up 3 wins. They're one of your 3 teams that the Vegas is predicting to go 3 wins higher than last year. And in Houston, I don't know if they know that they're still playing football in Houston. That's Houston's going to be your worst team. They're going to be your number one pick.
Yeah.
So for Houston, I'm going to go under 4.5.
I'm gonna go under on all 4 teams.
You're gonna go under everybody there.
Yeah,
okay. If you have to pick a division where everybody's going to go under their picks, that's it. I do think that Tennessee's still okay. And playing a fairly bad division, Tennessee's the best of that division. It's definitely 5 wins, if not 6 wins for Tennessee coming out of that division.
Yeah, I mean,
Tennessee, I'm going to go over. The Colts, I'll go under. And you know what? 6 wins, I think Jacksonville's going to steal another one. And Jacksonville's going to end up winning 7. So I'm going to take Jacksonville as an over there too.
Yeah, I mean, I think 6 is probably going to be the number. I like 5. I mean, look what they did to Indianapolis last year to prevent them from getting into the
And
playoffs.
they took Tennessee to the woodshed right
Yes,
around midseason.
and I think they beat Buffalo too as well. So I
Yeah,
mean,
there's some stuff there in Jacksonville. That's
hmm,
I just kind of got a sneaky feeling about Jacksonville. I'm not saying that they're gonna contend in that division, but 7 wins. I can see them stealing. Going to 7 for sure.
yeah, like I said, I like the under on all the teams.
And I'm not going to tell you that's bad. That's a bad choice at all. Not
I
one
got to
bit.
take a division that where, like you said, someone's going to get woodshedded, and I think it's going to be the AFC South.
Well,
If I'm not
I
mistaken,
don't really see the NFC East being that improved, but
mm-mm.
we'll get to the NFC here in a minute. So, all right, so let's go to the
The
AFC West
strongest
here.
division in the league.
Say
It's
what?
amazing to go from one to the other.
Strongest, yeah, I think so. And these numbers that Vegas is putting out, I mean, look at that 10.5, 10, 10, 8.5. I mean, everybody really, I mean, top to bottom, it's 2 games. Just a little bit of something happens in a couple of games, and this could be a dogfight for down to the last couple of weeks of the season. Division winner, you could either win the division, um, or be booted out of the wild card, on the last
Mhm.
week. Um,
Yeah, and this was an arms race during free agency. Who can spend the most money, get the most. I
yep.
like what Chargers did. I like what Vegas did. I like what Denver did.
I'm
Definitely
not,
Kansas City. I mean, they're
ha-
losing pieces, but it's still Kansas City.
yeah, and I said quite a few times last year that I didn't believe in Russell Wilson, and that I thought Russell Wilson was a lot of the problem and a lot of the headache in
Mhm.
Seattle, and now he's in Denver, and if Denver is not contending to win that division, it's going to be because of Wilson.
I actually,
If they are contending to win that division, it's going to be because of Wilson as well.
I actually think Denver's going to win that division.
I can see Denver winning that division too. Kansas City having traded they
Tyreek
trade
Hill,
Tyreek Hill. Yeah, I ooh, and Travis Kelsey.
he's
He's
going to get triple teamed. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
it's going
and
to be
Kelsey
nasty.
is not he's not exactly he's not old, but he's not a spring chicken either, and he takes a lot of punishment um, to get Kelsey through. I don't think he'll play all 17 this year, and
No,
I think it's going to cost Kansas City a little bit. Um, I, I don't just a quick guess. I I like Denver almost winning that division too.
hmm
Um, and if you see, Vegas is only has them a half a game behind Kansas City, and they're another team that the Vegas is saying 3 more wins than last year. So, all right, so if I'm going to say, you know what, I'm going to go under on Kansas City
I am too.
with the 10 and a hook. I can, they win 10 and then I win. Chargers. I want to go even right there on the Chargers. I like 10 wins for them, and I'm going to go over on Denver. And somebody has to get beat up, and I think it's Vegas, and so I think Vegas maybe wins 7 or 8. They're going to be still close to that 8.5. But they're a big drop. I think that division is going to be Denver, the Chargers, Kansas City, followed by Vegas, and you could see Kansas City maybe not making the playoffs next fall.
Oof, I like where you're at. I think Kansas City and Vegas are going to be interchangeable. Um, I like Denver on the over. The Chargers, I like the push at the 10. Kansas City, I'm going to take the under. And Vegas, you know what? I'm actually going to go over.
You're gonna go over with Vegas there too.
Yep.
Okay, all right, man. I mean, 9. I could see Vegas winning 8. I could see Vegas winning 9. It's that hook that whores you.
Yep.
So that's if anything, if I was going to bet on any of these, it wouldn't be anybody who's got a .5 after their wins and
No,
get
no,
murdered
not at
on
all.
get murdered on that. So yeah,
If
but
I was betting any division, I would stay away from the AFC East because it's going to
West.
come down to
Oh
injuries
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
The AFC West. I think that
they're going to beat
Buffalo's
the
going to
hell out
run
of
away in the East. You're going to have a
them.
dogfight with Cincinnati and Baltimore in the North. Someone has to win the South. I think that's
Someone has to win
I
that.
think that's going to be its. And then the West is absolutely going to be last team standing wins that division. So there's a lot of storylines, a lot to play out in the AFC next year. It's going to make it some fun for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
For sure. So, okay, all right. So let's jump over to the NFC. Just looking at the NFC as a whole, anything stand out at you there?
Yeah, I mean
Initially,
they got Green Bay under 2.
Green Bay, one of the two teams that are your biggest losers based off of last year, and both of those two big loser teams are here in the NFC.
I think with Devontae leading, I don't think it hurts Aaron Rodgers as much as Derek Carr hurts Devontae Adams. Aaron Rodgers is going to get the ball to somebody. They're going to make somebody look like a superstar. That could be another team that could, go up and grab a, stud receiver. I would actually love to see Green Bay get a stud receiver because, I mean, as kooky and weird as Aaron Rodgers is, he's put that team on his back. I mean, he's back-to-back MVPs. He needs to be rewarded with a good receiver. Their run game is going to be still good. Their defense is still solid. That offensive line is going to be a little bit of a struggle. So maybe in the second and third rounds, they can pick up some linemen to help. But that'd be the surprise for me seeing, and also the Giants getting +3. They're still the skid mark on the NFL.
Vegas must be looking at something that I'm not, because that giving the Giants 3 more wins. I mean, unless you think it's going to come at the Washington and Philadelphia expense, I don't see that one bit.
So that would be
I
my
finish writing some stuff down here. I'm gonna you keep talking. I keep writing.
Yeah, so that would be my 2 things. Just rolling it off the tongue as far as the ones that I see. Arizona is obviously going to take a step back. I never was a believer in Arizona. I mean, let's see, Atlanta.
Yeah, I wasn't either. And then Seattle. You think that you think that Seattle is who's quarterbacking Seattle?
It's going to be
this fall.
Drew Lock.
Okay, so Drew Lock is going to quarterback the Seahawks, and you only think they're going to win? They're going to win one less game? No, it's I see Seattle, Atlanta, the Giants, Houston, and Cleveland being your 5 worst teams in the league next year.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. Carolina, Atlanta, Seattle.
Yeah, the Giants. Maybe the Giants aren't going to be that terrible. They're not going to be that great, but they're not going to be that terrible. I think that they're going to get a couple lucky wins out of that. I'm sorry, the NFC East is still dreadful. Hey man, Drew, have you got to see this? As we get to, well, we're almost going to talk about the NFC East. So have you seen my special Commanders suck banner? that had to go up right here. Yeah, so that's always going to be right over my left shoulder there. I make sure that I don't hide it, so everybody knows that the Commanders suck.
They do. Ownership sucks. The team sucks. I mean, there's some players there that
suck.
I like.
The media sucks. Everything about it. And I was going to. Okay. Here we go. We've got we try and keep these to about an hour, but we're 45 minutes in, and we're just gonna moving on to the NFC East. But let me just give you a quick Washington Commanders jag here. Everybody hates Dan Snyder, right? But I've started to think just a little bit differently about Dan Snyder. I'm starting to think of how brilliant Dan Snyder is. You ever heard the expression "a fool and his money are soon parted"?
I have not.
You've never heard that? Okay, where have you been? Okay, all right. We worked at Domino's. We took lots of money from lots of fools.
Yeah,
So
but
so that but so okay. So if you're stupid, you're going to throw your money away.
right.
And so if you're going to buy any team in the entire NFL, pick the one with the stupidest fan base, and that's Washington. And so that's what Snyder has gone and done. He's like, these dummies, I'm going to charge them $50 for parking, and they're going to come, and they do. I'm going to charge them to come to training camp, and they do. I'm going to charge them personal seat license fees, and they pay it. I'm going to change the name of the team, and look at all the new jerseys I'm going to sell. It's insane. So I don't think this is I think that Dan Snyder is way more smarter than a lot of people want to give him credit for, because they don't want to say how idiotic the Washington fans are. So that's just quick. I've got there'll be a lot more Washington Commanders vitriol.
Now, my only
to
rebuttal on that is Washington has one of those areas, and the media always throws around transient. A lot of government in and outs. I don't think Washington has a solid fan base anymore, because they're either gone or they've gone to Baltimore. I think that whole DC, Maryland fan base is gone. That's probably why they're looking into Virginia to try to something new. They might as well call them.
But when you talk to those fans, or when you hear those fans talk more so, it's that we won 3 Super Bowls under Joe Gibbs. That was 25. You're nearing 30 years ago.
91.
When you won your last Super Bowl, and you still want to talk about it like it's yesterday. So you know what? If they sell a special commemorative poster of the Joe Gibbs era with pictures of our 3 Lombardi trophies, we're going to sell them. We're going to sell them for $49.99 each. They're going to sell out because these morons are going to buy them. There you go, Dan. There you go, Snyder. There's an idea I just gave you. The idiots will buy it, make 1 million of them, and sell them for $50 a pop. They're going to buy them out. They will sell them out. I guarantee, because these people are morons. So Snyder, live it up. Make every dollar you can off of these dummies. And own this team forever, because until they realize what fools they are, you are exactly what they deserve.
And I actually like what the Nationals did. They released that new jersey the same time like Washington basically releases their new stuff. It's about a couple weeks difference, but the Nationals Bloom jersey is now the #1 selling jersey.
Really?
Which is awesome, considering
I will tell you, I am not a fan of that jersey.
I don't like the color.
Nah.
The design is okay, I guess, but the color could have been a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of looks a little more pink, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this doesn't scream baseball to me, and dang it, cherry blossom season is like over. Baseball's here, but cherry blossom season is basically over. So.
Okay.
All right. So, all right. Let's
going all over the place.
I know it is. Yeah. So, and I'm just watching this timer up here in the corner, and as it starts nearing an hour, I'm gonna sweat. But whatever. We go over. We get to do what we want to do. If you don't like what we do, then go and make your own sports network, or go and have your friend, your co-host's brother create a sports network and allow you to have the password and go on and talk about the things you want to talk about. So, but hey, that's where we are. So, all right, man.
At least there's nothing much to talk about on the NFC East.
I don't. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what, Drew. I'm going to go under on everybody in the NFC East. How about how you like that?
Yeah.
There's no way the Giants are going to win 7 games.
No, that's
a winner. I don't care how much you like Wentz in Washington, how much they talk him up. He's not going to be the answer until the Commanders commit to a rebuild. You're going to be a 7-10, 6-11. Maybe you'll get lucky one year and win 10 and get a first round playoff loss out of it. But I'm sorry, that's what Washington is. They're going to be 7-10 this year. Philly, they're an 8-9 team. and Dallas, I think, is going to win it at 10-7. So under straight down the board there for me.
I'm gonna shock you right now. I'm gonna say Washington, the only team to go over.
Okay, all right.
Let's see, Dallas. Man, that hook is gonna kill you on that one.
It absolutely is. It's one of those those halves.
No, I'll say 10 wins. They're gonna go 10-7.
Okay,
Philadelphia 8. Washington, I would push it up to 8.
You think 8? Okay, it's possible with some halfway competent play,
Mm-hmm.
but again, it's Washington that we're talking about. So
They're playing the last the fourth rate schedule. So
they finished behind the Giants last year,
didn't they? I think they did.
No, I don't think that they did. I don't know. It's possible. I can't. I don't have all that pulled up, and I'm not going to go searching for
schedule release. Then we can really dive
Washington
into
and the Commanders suck, so I don't care.
And, whatever their team name is, they
right.
spend.
Yeah.
So
I keep saying it over and over in my mind. So I don't call them the Redskins anymore because I get this right here that reminds me that the Commanders suck. Yes, they do. Yeah. Yes, they do. If do you want one? I can have my wife make one for you. Well, I'll mail it. Or, you know what? Dallas fans, I'm going to sell these Commanders suck banners for you. I'm not not like Snyder's going to rip off the Redskins fan. This right here, this can be yours for only $5. So Dallas fans, if you want your very own Commanders suck banner here, $5 from from America's most adorable co-host, and they are yours.
And if you're a Commanders fan, don't add us.
No, yeah, because I'm going to tell you why. If you come to me with incorrect punctuation, incorrect spelling, and incorrect use of the word "there," you automatically lose your argument, and that's about at least 83% of the Commanders fan base, and the other 17% are those ones that are like, yeah, my team may not be that good, but I'm kind of going to root for them, and let me not go kicking the bear here, because I know that these guys are right.
And the Mets just took the lead on the Nationals 3-1. So
yeah. In other news, water is wet.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Recap, I have every team under except Washington. I'll take them on the over.
Okay, I thought you're going to stick with Dallas going on. I thought you said you thought Dallas could squeeze 11 and go over.
Yeah, they can. I like the 10. That hook is going to kind of kill me.
Okay, all right. So you're going to stick under there on the Cowboys. Okay, all right. Now, all right. So when you go to the NFC North, here's one of your two teams that's getting nicked the most by Vegas with their losses. Green Bay going from 13 losses last year down to 11 this year.
Let me just step aside real quick. My daughter is in need of help here.
Okay, all right. So daughter emergency. Drew, I'm just gonna leave his screen up there partly because I don't know how to get rid of that. I don't know if anybody else enjoys this, but dang it if I have fun. So let me give you my rundown here from the NFC North, and that Green Bay that is very interesting, except for the fact to me that Green Bay plays in this division that is not good.
Sorry, daddy duty.
As a whole, yeah, I got you, man. Mine were little one day. It was great. But you know what's also great is when they get a driver's license and you can go out you can go out to the bar and then they can drive you home. So that's pretty great too. I'm not gonna doubt that. Okay, all right. So Green Bay, I think that when they move outside of that NFC North, they're going to get hurt a little bit, especially on the road. Teams coming to Lambeau, so it's probably 8 wins, 3 more when they go on the road. I don't think they'll get 3 more on the road in a division. They've got to be somebody. I like Green Bay right at 11 as now that I think about it, and talk myself into it. And if that and just for the record, I misspelled Minnesota. It's Minnesota.
The mitten soda.
How did the T and the N are not even close to each other on the keyboard, but I was somehow able to spell Minnesota as Minnesota. Minnesota. Mittesota. There, Minnesota.
He must have
It's
been
kind of.
thinking of like a mojito or
I don't.
something.
I don't know. I don't know.
Flavored.
Yeah, spell check in a spreadsheet doesn't go too well.
So,
I mean, Minnesota to get. I mean, to go over, you're going to have to think that Minnesota's going to win 10. I don't think so.
not with
I
Cousins.
think that's an under. Bears. I like the Bears right at 7.
You're gonna
So
push.
I'm gonna call the Bears a push there. And how about this Detroit? You think Detroit is 3 wins better than they were last year?
I actually do. I will take Detroit over Chicago. I would swap those two numbers.
So do you think that Detroit will win over 6 games?
I think they're going to do 7.
I think you might be right.
They have the best worst coach in the league.
Yeah.
They actually play for that guy. He's all heart. He's too honest, sometimes too honest.
Yeah. And a team can perform for a coach like that. I mean, I didn't watch a lot of Lions games last year, except for the Thanksgiving Day that you always seem to watch. And it was did they play Chicago on Christmas or on Thanksgiving Day?
They did. Yes, they did.
And didn't that thing come down to like a last second field goal? Detroit they play tough. They didn't lose a lot of games by a lot of points last year.
And they lost to Baltimore off a 66-yard field goal. I mean, that was kind of the luck that they had.
Right. So I mean, so you turn a little bit of that luck around, and they can go over there. So all right, what do you think about? Move back up top there.
Green Bay. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna say 12 wins.
Okay.
Minnesota. I'm gonna go under. I don't believe in Kirk Cousins. Never have.
I've got a soft spot in my heart for Minnesota because it's that's my cousin's team. He's always rooted for the Vikings, and so they've carried a soft spot in my heart. And I wish better for Minnesota or Minnesota.
And I would swap. I would say over on Detroit and under on Chicago. Over on Detroit, under on Chicago.
Yeah. Well, I think Chicago. I think Chicago's they're going to be just a little bit better. I think they're going to be that 1 win better. I think it's 7. I'm going right there at 7. So
until Justin Fields shows me something, and they just lost Robinson to the Rams. It seems like everybody's losing players to the Rams. I don't know how they're coming up with the cap space, but can Darryl Mooney, carry that team? I don't think so. They're going to load the box up. I just don't believe in Chicago. Greg's going to be happy when he sees this video. But I actually think Detroit's going to beat them as far as in the division.
Yeah, I mean, Chicago. I mean, honestly, if Chicago in the second year of Fields is 6-11, and Detroit. You could see Detroit at 6, and you could see Detroit at 6-11 too. Just because I don't know, but I really want to see those two teams' schedules. I want to see what they're going to do out of division. Mm-hmm. That NFC North, I think your overs and unders, your wins, your losses is going to be based more on schedule and more of where teams play when they play them than just about anything else.
Yeah, what's the worst division? Either NFC North or the NFC South. They're going to battle, to compete for the worst division.
Yeah. But I'm going to say it's going to be the NFC South, just because I think Tampa is going to be better than Green Bay by a good little bit, and Carolina, Atlanta are worse than Chicago, Detroit.
Yeah,
it's going to be hard. So I mean, your two worst divisions are in the NFC, and the AFC South is not going to be it's not going to be great, but it's going to be tight. It's going to be close.
Mm-hmm.
The NFC North is and South are just going to be
god awful,
train wreck, unbearable to watch most of those games. So how do you like Tampa at 11.5? They won 13 last year.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw it, I was thinking 12. I like them to tie with Green Bay at 12 wins.
All right, so that would put them in for an over in your book.
Yeah, I would put them in over. New Orleans, oh man, they're in cap hell right now. So
They are, but there's still some talent in New Orleans. So I don't think that they're terrible.
and we don't know what Kamara is going to be. I think he's still in jail. If I last time I checked.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on there. Eight.
And Michael Thomas, is he going to play? I mean, is he going to get traded?
Mhm.
I'm gonna go under on New Orleans. They got
You're gonna go under on New Orleans. I don't necessarily call that terrible. I'd call it a push right there
yeah,
at it. So yeah, any team that I'm saying is a push is going to be right on what Vegas is. I'm absolutely going to stay away from that, and I'm absolutely going to stay away from anybody who's got a .5 win
yeah.
there too. So I'd have to go back and look way more closely at who I'm going to tell you where to put some money at. But I know which ones I would absolutely positively stay away from. And New Orleans is another one of those ones I'd stay away from. Carolina and Atlanta, I'm going under on both of those. And I think that the Carolina Atlanta factor is what's going to push Tampa Bay to over 11.5 wins.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. So over on
who
Tampa,
who in their right mind thinks that Carolina is going to win?
Especially when your best player
7
can never get on
games.
the field. McCaffrey he's an exceptional talent, but he just can't stay healthy.
McCaffrey will not play 17 games next season. I told you that last year. He won't do it. He won't do it this year.
So over on Tampa, under on the rest.
Okay. Yeah.
Is where I would probably.
That's not going to be a fun division to watch. That division is going to get a lot of Sunday night and Monday night NFL games, your primetime games, and a lot of them are not going to be good.
And I think they play the NFC East, if I'm not mistaken, this year.
Boy, could anything be worse? Could there be anything worse than a Giants Atlanta game?
And watch it put at prime time,
That's gonna be. Watch that be a Thursday night game.
I'd have to wait, but I think that's pretty much. I think it's NFC East and NFC South, if I'm not mistaken. But that'd be just an awful race in itself.
Yeah.
So
whoever plays against whatever division plays the NFC East and the NFC South, it's going to be terrible. Basically, to watch. Now, one of your probably the most fun division in the NFC would be the NFC West.
Yep,
and wouldn't you say so?
The two tops. Yeah, it's gonna be another close year with Seattle rounding the bottom, but
I mean they're saying that's the Rams at 10.5 and San Francisco at 10. I mean you can't win half a game, so it has to go one way or the other. So that game that division Vegas is saying is going to come right down to the wire, and I think the Rams went all in for that Super Bowl last year. They got it, and so I think the San Francisco has some they have some talent. They have something to prove. They made it. Had a great season, but they came up short, and I think they're going to have a lot to prove for next year.
Who's their quarterback? Are they going to finally invest in Trey Lance, or are they going to keep with Garoppolo?
Well, I don't think I think that the plan was trade Garoppolo, but no one really came to them wanting Garoppolo. So I think that they stick with him, and if that shoulder's an issue, well, they've got Lance, waiting in the wings, and you're not going to see a tremendous drop off. If any team's starter goes down, it's a big drop off. But I think with San Francisco, it's a very small drop off. I like San Francisco to win that division, and I like San Francisco over. And I don't think that that's 10.5. I think the Rams go 10-7. So I'd take the Rams as an under, just there on that half. Arizona,
that's gonna be a push. It looks like.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm totally with you there.
Who are the the Cardinals anymore? I mean, they got a crybaby for quarterback.
He could, and I mean, he's making noise that he wants out of there, and if he starts to turn into a headache, then that could be easily under 9. You get to see them winning just 6 or 7 if that team implodes, which it absolutely positively could. And Seattle at 6.
That's generous. I'm like
I think that's
3 or 4
generous.
games.
Yeah. So you're taking the Seahawks under there as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the
Yeah.
Rams over.
Okay.
San Francisco. You know what? I'm gonna give them an under as well.
Okay. All right.
And a push for Arizona.
There's not too many places where we went different, but San Francisco is San Francisco is one of them. The other ones that you might care that anyone would care about is there's the Jets.
I just don't like that quarterback situation, and I think it's going to be a problem. They lost 2 good running backs in Mostert, and also I think Burrito went to Miami.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's they're not the
Yeah.
same San Francisco, but that defense is still talented.
It's really interesting to go back and look at the stuff that we did. I mean, whether we are right or whether we are wrong on an over under, just to see how much agreement we are in on most of these teams. We disagree on the Jets. I've got them under, and you've got them over. But I mean, that's the Jets. That's a 0.5. So there's not much going on there. Yeah, the Jaguars. I've got the Jaguars going over. You've got them going under.
Yep.
And that's good. The early season is going to be very telling for Jacksonville. Other differences that we have: Vegas. I've got Vegas under. You've got Vegas over. But I'm not sold on that one. I could see.
Go either way.
It could go either way. It's going to be right darn close to that. Vegas isn't going. It's not going to be like, they either win 6 or they win 11. It's going to be they're going to win 7, 8, or 9, right around in there. Other differences. The Commanders. You think they're going over. That's 7.5. That's they get 8 and you win there. So but
I'm not going to shock the world.
No. But
it's not 12.
But and I took under on them, and my under can hit at 7. Could you see Washington winning only 7 games next year?
Absolutely.
Right. So it's not a lot there. The Saints, I think the Saints are going to win 8, and you think that they're going to go under. And then the biggest difference, the biggest one, the most interesting one to watch would definitely be San Francisco. But still, it's just a game here or there. And I think with most of these, it's a game here or there. And I think this playing field is evening just a little bit. You're still going to have your bad teams with your Seattles this year, but Seattle is not going to be bad for long. The Jets are still not going to be great. I think things aren't going to be great in Cleveland or Houston, and I think Washington needs to finally admit that they need to rebuild. But outside of that, you've got a lot of teams that are there in the middle and can beat anybody at any time. And there's a lot of really good teams. Most divisions, I could pick. Every division in the AFC, I can pick 2 teams with a chance to win that.
Yep.
Even the East.
But the one thing looking at this, what it does tell is Vegas absolutely knows what they're doing. This is why they have those $1 million hotels all over the place. I mean, they know exactly what they're doing. It's hard to bet against Vegas.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I had people asking me for some betting advice early season last year, and I think I gave them the wrong advice on absolutely everything. There was only 2 times last season that I looked at something and I thought this is an absolute positive winner. One of them was Jacksonville beating Tennessee, and another time it was a Minnesota game. Minnesota beat someone that most people weren't expecting them to beat. Those are the only 2 surefire winners that I saw all of last season. Everything for me is absolute guess, and a lot of this is absolute guessing as well.
Yes, it's definitely a coin toss I think the balance is swung back to the AFC as far as the powerhouse division.
Yep.
Or the conference, I guess. Yep. All the good quarterbacks are now in the AFC East, minus maybe 1 or 2. But It's going to be an interesting season. We will be doing a mock draft show that coming up. Fantasy football is going to be coming around right around the corner. We'll be doing more contact with that.
Yeah, we've got to do some stuff when it comes to schedule release time.
Absolutely.
A
lot of good
there'll
stuff
be some,
coming.
there's always talk with mini camps and stuff like that. And hey, just around the corner is the NBA playoffs and
And hockey
NHL, the
playoffs
Stanley
are coming up.
Cup
Yep.
finals, and baseball's kicking kicking off right now. And man, it's you just have a little bit of a drag over a couple of months of summertime, but hey,
Right.
it's summertime, so you get out and enjoy. You don't really have to live a total sports life for a couple months there of September. But so, Drew, I
Always a pleasure,
have
sir.
I have had a blast with you here tonight, my friend. I'm going to
One thing for
remove
sure,
that.
Greg can never
Look,
carry a
there's
show.
us again. What was that, bud?
One thing's for sure, Greg can never carry a show longer than an hour. We always seem to do it whenever we get on. So
Yeah, no. If I'm on if Greg does a show longer than an hour, it's because I've been running my mouth and dragging it off and taking it on tangents. And man, we've gone some tangents here again, but
good stuff.
I absolutely had fun, and so I hope that everybody, whether you get to listen to this, watch this, whatever you do, put us on tomorrow as you're trying to lay down and take a nap. However it may be, just watch it. Just put it on a loop and watch us over and over and over again while you're sleeping tonight. Nothing wrong with that.
And the one thing I learned today talking to you
What?
is, I guess it's the other way, is
This way?
Commander
Right.
Stuck.
Yeah, right. And remember, everyone,
$5.
these are the only $5. It's a bargain at twice the price. So if you want your very own Commander Suck banner, they will be available for only $5. Comment, like, share, email, however you want to get in touch with us. Those things are absolutely for sale. And what a bargain! What a bargain! And to get to tell the world that the truth, that the Commanders suck, for only $5. Great for you. So, Drew, man, again, like I said, I have had a blast, and hope I get to be on with you. Hope you can join me and Greg when we do the show. Some of the Monday nights here too, man. So, but if anything else ever tickles your phony bone and you want to come on, I am more than willing to sit in the command seat and push buttons.
Perfect.
With you. So, Drew, I had a blast, man.
Thank you, sir.
All right, man. See you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.